burn the church, Captain.
Smile for me now, brother. Stop.
Is it the scars? You want to know how I got them? Come here. Hey.
Do you want to know how I got these scars? Best movie villains. We got Ray. We got story.
Well, I'm excited for this one.
Let's go, man. This is endless. This is awesome. I'm pretty sure someone has the Joker on their list. Heath Ledger's Joker, that is.
Guess we'll see.
Story, what makes a great villain to you?
A good movie villain has to be, so you got to have the actor that's into it, somebody that really kind of dives into the role, so you feel that they are the villain. Then you got to have a villain that's got a compelling reason for why they're doing something. Even with the Joker, who is an agent of chaos, there's a reason behind everything that he's doing, and especially a villain that feels like they're in the right. And a lot of guys that I have on here, guys and possibly girls, the women are on. Don't want to be pejorative, but women can be villains too, right? It's 2024. But they feel that what they're doing is for the best. And then obviously somebody who's got a scheme behind it, somebody who really plans things out. For me, that really makes a good villain.
Ray, give me your honorable mentions. We're going to go honorable mentions first, couple of those, one or two, and then we're getting into our big list.
Hannibal Lecter.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
That's your honorable?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's just Anthony Hopkins. I mean, it's definitely, it's an old-timer. Again, like we talked about in our last podcast, when you get to the point where it is being parodied in comedies, like comedy shows, and just in general, just it's in so many things that it's referenced. And he is just beyond creepy, and it's one of the best acting jobs ever, really. I mean, it's just...
And he's not even the main antagonist in the Silence of the
movie
Lambs.
like 18 minutes or some
correct.
crazy low amount.
Wins an Academy Award. Anthony Hopkins wins the Academy Award.
Yep. Story.
Yeah, I went a little overboard, so I'm going to, again, run through these. If you saw our soundtrack pod, I'm just going to run through them real quick. So, Darth Vader from the Star Wars franchise, Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York, Owen Davian from Mission Impossible 3, a super intense villain.
That's
Hannibal
Philip
Lecter.
Seymour Hoffman, right?
Yeah, the late and great Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P. Hannibal Lecter, he's on there for me. Detective Alonzo Harris from Training Day, Denzel Washington special. You don't even know he's the villain for half the movie.
Yeah.
That's why he's... I was thinking about an honorable mention. He's awesome in that.
The High Evolutionary from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Ozymandias from Watchmen, just what you talk about having a plan, that guy has a plan. And then the only female that's on my list, Amy Dunn from Gone Girl. You've seen
great.
Gone Girl?
I love that movie. That's great.
That's a good call.
She might be the... Dude, she should have probably been on your list.
What a psychopath.
She is the definition of a sociopath.
Well done.
Exactly. My top honorable mention, though, is Scar from The Lion King, the original animated movie from 1996. What a villain. Voiced by Jeremy Irons, and a great voice actor, great actor all around. Menacing, very intense. He's got a reason for doing things. He has no regard for Simba or Mufasa, obviously.
You're going to take some mine when you have 10.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's, I don't want to talk too much about it. I think he deserves to be on there.
100%. Okay, mine. I have Shooter McGavin.
What do you think of Happy Gilmore?
I didn't get a chance to see him play. I was too busy winning.
You gotta admit, that's a hell of a drive, 450 yards, huh?
Yeah, how do you finish again? Dead last? Oh, yeah. He had a good day, though. Thanks.
Believe it or not, from a comedy, who's more of an asshole than that? And actually, the best story about Shooter McGavin, Christopher McDonald's his name, is that he got a DUI a couple years back, like quite a bit back, after the movie came out.
His mugshot is epic.
And he literally said, "Do you know who I am? I'm Shooter McGavin."
He said that, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he said that to the cops?
In the cops.
Which is, in general, the movie, I ate for breakfast, like...
It's not great. Not great.
That for a DUI? Yeah, it's great.
Well, and again, coming back to when we were talking about the scores, like when you think of golf, and anybody who likes golf,
Shooter,
and you just say Shooter, that's all you have to say is Shooter. It's like,
I'll be a Red Lobster. I like that you put a comedy movie, a villain from a comedy movie, because I've got nothing on that.
Because it's hard to, right?
It's all drama.
The other
and
one,
action
real
thing.
quick, is Jigsaw from Saw. The reason he's honorable is just because he actually is
call.
killing bad people.
Yes.
But it also goes, the first movie, and then he goes just like, I'm going to do this. He's dying of cancer.
I don't like him because he's like, oh, I didn't kill anybody. I gave people a choice.
But I'm gonna kill you.
Shut up. Yeah, you killed him. Yeah.
That's why he's honorable, though. But he
great
sucks.
actor. What's the actor's name?
Bell. No.
Yeah. Tobin Bell. Thank you.
Yeah,
I didn't even have it written down.
Nice.
All right, Big Ray, number 5. What do you got?
Number 5, I have Thanos from Marvel.
What I'm about to do to your stubborn, annoying little planet. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Again, like story when you broke down what is a villain, what is Thanos? I mean, I don't know if you guys seen Marvel much.
I don't watch Marvel, so
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, the basis of Thanos is that he comes up with the idea, I'm gonna get the stones and snap my fingers because he thinks that there will never be enough resources in the universe to upkeep everybody to live a healthy life. So he just thinks, I'm going to snap my fingers and it'll be random. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It'll be a random gone. And in my eyes, it's he says, quote, I look at it as mercy instead of, because Doctor Strange says you're murdering billions. And it goes to the fact that he even goes to, besides people, animals in life, wildlife.
And there's so few that are really compelling villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So many of them are just carbon copies of the heroes that they're fighting. So to have somebody that actually stands out, that's a good one.
Story, what do you got for number 5?
This is a villain that I think, this is a remake. This is from a remake, and I think the villain in this, especially the actor, plays it better. It's Max Cady from Cape Fear.
Ready to be born again, Miss Bolden? A few minutes alone with me, darling, you will be speaking in tongues.
The Robert De Niro version. Man, you want to talk about a straight psychopath. Yep. Intense, menacing. Counselor! Just, you feel for that family when they're on the boat there, and they're lucky they get away. Robert De Niro, phenomenal actor. He plays this to the extreme. He's not a character actor. He really dived into this role, and it is something that I certainly would want to go up against.
The slow play, too, of when he meets him first, he's like, well, I learned how to read. And essentially he's saying, like, I know you screwed me on my defense, and I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. All right, ready for my number 5?
Ready.
This is something. Jenny from Forest Gump.
Nice.
You consider her a villain?
Yes.
Well, is there any other villain in that movie?
She is a villain.
I mean, she gives him hepatitis or whatever.
Does
Family Guy not point it out?
Hi, Forrest. I know you just got back from Vietnam and you love me, but I'm gonna go run a train with this group of Black Panthers I just met.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. I know you came all this way to New York to visit me, but I'm gonna go do blow and have sex with a bunch of stockbrokers.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. Now that I have the most contagious and incurable disease known to mankind, I'll finally have pity sex with you.
Okay, Jenny. And I'll mow the grass and raise the AIDS, baby.
Perfectly how she's a villain.
She is the villain. She screws over Forrest a million times. I know what true love is. Like, she treats him like crap. He's always pining over her. He does so much for her. And at the end, he knocks her up, and then she has AIDS, and then here's my kid.
Oh, you have AIDS, by the way. Here's your AIDS kid, I'm going to die.
It's kind of a joke, but it's kind of for real, man.
I'm sorry.
She is a villain, and she is the only villain in that movie. She's the only antagonist in that movie. She treats Forrest, who's the purest, best soul ever. Mm-hmm. Everything's so great for him in that movie. What's the one thing that's not?
Her.
There it is. That's why I have it. I know it sounds crazy, but...
That is crazy. I don't know that I agree with that. Let us know in the comments if you think that Jenny's a villain or if she's just a foil to Forrest Gump, or if she is actually... I mean, I don't even know if you would consider her an antagonist. I don't know. That's I can see the case for it. I don't know that I agree with it, though.
Think about it. All she does is take advantage of him until it's convenient when nobody else will take her when she's dying.
Yeah, but is that a villain per se? Like,
in this movie, it is.
By the conventional definition of a villain?
That's why it's genius, because it's not conventional like a superhero movie. It's Forrest Gump, and she is a POS, man. What do you got, number 4?
So for number 4, I have Hans Landa, Christoph Waltz.
Called it.
I knew you'd have it. He knew you'd have it.
Well, I mean, how can I not? Yeah. Besides the fact that that's one of my favorite movies, it's just that everything he does in it, he just epically. Let's put it this way: none of us have ever lived in the Nazi days. But if you wanted to think of what could be a most psychopathic Nazi, that'd be him, because he goes to the point of. Literally, like, I'm going to, like, order them to murder everybody because you're a Jew, to the point to where when Shoshana, he knows that he's talking to her, when they're having the
mind games.
Yes,
dude.
and like he knows, and she knows, and it's just that build up and just everything about him that it's.
I mean, in the movie, there is a couple Hitler scenes, right? In the movie, he is worse than Hitler. Yes. Now, in real life, was there a guy like that? Probably.
Probably.
And in that case, though, it's more of a micro situation. I mean, Hitler's worse than the macro.
Some would argue that Goering was worse than Hitler. He was the architect of the Holocaust.
There you go. And it's like, just because he's ordering it, the guy that's executing the orders is actually getting his hands dirty, which makes you worse.
And that's
right?
I mean, literally
makes you think.
Because I don't think Hitler had the balls to do that. He was a freaking Salson, dude. He wouldn't be doing these things.
Right.
He was totally a fucking coward.
Right. I mean, in the opening scene, he's just like, well, you know of me, right?
He takes pride in the Jew hunter.
Forces him to say, what do they call him? The Jew hunter. He's like, yes, okay,
love it. What's your number 4 story?
This one is one that you don't have to think about because this is a unwavering, relentless, merciless, driven machine. It's the T-1000 from Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
I was struggling to get
portrayed by the great Robert Patrick.
So sick, dude.
I think it takes the Terminator from the T-800 to the T-1000. He has more human qualities. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't say that. The T-800 has more human qualities. The T-1000 can portray human better.
The T-800's a learning computer. But this is cold-blooded murder, and the Robert Patrick. Let's get some shout-out to Robert
absolutely.
Patrick.
Emotionless when he is
running,
the T-1000.
Dude.
I read, I don't know if this is true, that Robert Patrick was so intense on set that he was outrunning the car when he was chasing them.
That's true.
Just a terrifying portrayal of what the future potentially holds.
I love Terminator. As you know, I'm a huge T2. I think is the best movie ever made. At least the best action movie ever made. That's not debatable. And he is the villain, dude. Everything about it so cold. It's so genius. The special effects that make it even better and like unkillable until they get somehow into lava and he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it goes against one of my tenets of what makes a good movie villain, but I think you can put that in that they feel what they're doing is right. This is no feeling here. He is directly following programming, and it is designed specifically to eliminate.
Thank God the first movie killed it because they were able to get the budget to make that movie, and that movie
the best, man.
Villain is just next level.
Number 4 for me, he kind of stole my thunder here. Scar from Lion King, and again another weird one for me because it's a kids movie, it's a Disney movie, it's an animated movie, but Scar was a lot of us. Year 41, year 33. It was our first time we got actually introduced to someone bad. A villain, right? And there is no redeemable qualities.
Did you see this in the theater? Did you see this in the theater?
I was 6.
Oh man, it was
the Stampede
I can only imagine that scene,
right?
I can only imagine seeing that.
And it prefaces like, certain villains like Darth Vader, a lot of redeemable qualities. You want to go with the whole 9 episodes, not in the original 3, but there is 0 redeemable qualities about Scar. He is a POS.
Selfish.
Everything about it. He's willing to ruin a great thing. His brother, destroy Simba.
All for the sake of power.
For him. And the power that actually goes nowhere.
I was like, what power? It's like, when you
he wanted the power, but everyone was hungry.
It's just a dead
man, what the first time I ever got introduced to, and maybe this is like, it scarred me, no pun intended, of just like life. And like, guess what? There are people like this. And I know it's a cartoon. It's a lion.
Doesn't matter.
but like, for real, man.
He has no remorse over what he's doing. He has no feelings of when he has Mufasa on the edge. There's no second guessing.
It's almost a smile, man.
Dude,
There's no redeemable qualities,
man. I was going to say, that scene is one of the most sickening scenes. You're talking about, you guys are older than me. Talk about I think how young I was when I saw that. I was probably like 6 years old. And I'm like terror, like just scarred.
I know.
Like, seriously, yeah, I mean...
My last 3 are more... I'm not saying this wasn't realistic, but more like
conventional
criteria. Yeah. Ray, number 3.
Number 3, I got Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. I had it, and I knew you had it, so I didn't put it on, but it's just... Definition of a psychopath.
Yeah, a bit of a goofball, if you ask me.
Goofy.
He is, but here's the thing, is that... Excuse me. Everything that I've read about that movie and about that character... Legitimate people who deal with psychopaths, this is for the most accurate written on camera psychopath they've ever seen, to where it's just like yes, he's goofy, but think about psychopaths. How can you not be goofy because you're effed in the head? Like you're on a next level to where
He's flipping the coin, dude.
For that old man,
yeah.
The
old man doesn't realize it's for his life.
What an interesting choice of weapon.
Everything. The weapon, the air compressor thing, like everything about him is just...
You know, there's another thing that was really interesting about him. If you go back next time, and I'm gonna say this, I don't know if you will notice this, but next time you watch the movie, look for this. Every time he hates blood. He hates blood, even though this dude is a psychopath. It's a very interesting side note that I've noticed about him. Every kill he has, like the first kill that you see on camera is when he goes in to into the hotel and he starts shooting it up, and that guy's hiding in the shower and he's speaking Spanish, and he just
covers it up.
Yeah, he covers it up, and then he shoots him, and then when he kills Woody Harrelson, the blood starts going, and he puts his feet up, and then at the very end when he kills Josh Brolin's wife, he got blood on him, and you see him walk out when she's like, "You don't have to do this," and you don't see him kill her, and you don't even hear sounds. But it's insinuating that he did it because he's wiping blood off of him.
Spoiler alert.
Okay. Yeah, these are all spoilers. Real quick question. Let's get a couple sentences on this. The two movies, No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood, were forever tied, right? Shot right next to each other, same year, the Oscar race.
Definitely intertwined. Sure.
Yes. What is better film for you? What would you rather watch? Right now, if you had to go home and your wife's like, I want to watch this or this, what are you choosing?
There Will Be Blood. It's Daniel Day-Lewis for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm taking No Country, baby.
I guess I'll put it this way.
No Country won the Oscar, though, right?
Right. But yeah. I'll put it this way for me with both movies, because for me, they're in my top 10. When I see No Country for Old Men, even though there are a little bit of lulls, it's more continuous pace.
That's it.
There Will Be Blood is slower pace.
It's slow burning, but
the acting is so much better. I shouldn't even say so much better, but it is better. And I'm a big Daniel Day-Lewis guy, and his acting in that.
Hot take: you like Daniel Day-Lewis? He's a good actor.
I feel like people. I've pulled more into There Will Be Blood because Anton Chigurh kind of takes me out of the movie because she's such a goofy character carrying around a cow. Killing thing.
Works though. I don't know. See, I'm taking No Country for Old Men all day.
It's fair.
All day. I think it's not.
I'm also just going with this sheer spinelessness of him. He has literally nothing to him. He just he'll kill anybody. Even though again that old man, that thank God he lived, because think about when
that's a great scene.
100%. You're watching
because you think he's dead, right?
It's in the bag.
So it's your wife's place because it's her parents.
It's in the bag.
What do you got for your number 3?
I'm gonna do a line from the movie. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Khan! Khan! It's Khan and Noonien Singh from Star Trek II, played by Ricardo Montalban. He was in an original series episode, and then he reprised the role for Star Trek II. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch reprised this role in the Kelvin universe in Star Trek Beyond, I think it is. Not a great plot, not a great, good, okay performance, whatever. But it's Ricardo Montalban. You want to talk about a villain who believes what he's doing is right and superior and greater than sacrifices need to be made in order for the greater good. It's this, and the portrayal by Ricardo Montalban is over the top, but it's over the top because this is how this villain is. So it's great. I don't know if you guys are Star Trek fans,
but I appreciate it. I will believe you because you're a huge movie person.
He's a genius.
As I'm saying,
right?
Yeah,
I am a genius.
Doesn't have music, but he knows movies.
No, I can tell. Yeah, from hell's heart I stab at thee. He quotes Shakespeare. It's.
Well, how much more?
Where's the knife at?
Right there. It's on top.
It's
hello.
Yep.
All right, my number 3. A lot of people are Darth Vader is the villain, right? I read this all online. The real villain's Emperor Palpatine, because I know in episodes 4 through 6, the original 3, Darth Vader is the villain. Now you watch the 1 through 3. Which I grew up with, and that were, equal to me. And I actually think episode 3 is my favorite episode.
Me too.
It's better than either one of those two, but I think the prequels are underrated.
Darth Vader is not Darth Vader without Emperor Palpatine.
I don't disagree.
So therefore, who's the bigger villain? The guy that made the villain or the villain? No, it's the guy that made everything and is in charge of all these, how you said with Thanos, this is the villain for me, number 3. He is terrible. He has, the control of the Senate. This is one of the worst people.
Palpatine is still alive in that way.
Right. He is the Hitler, if that makes sense, compared to the Hans Landa. He is the guy orchestrating all these things, and he is cold-blooded. He is the Sith Lord. He is one of the worst villains in movie history. I'm going to stick by that one. His face when he gets the lightning, dude. Oh, my God. He is so manipulative.
Ian McDiarmid.
Okay. That is why I have it. Ray, what do you got for number 2?
Number 2, I have Joker, Heath Ledger. It's
got to be on there.
It's one of those things, you want to see how I got these.
You want to hold the story? You want to try it? Go ahead. Everyone does it.
I'll be Meg and Jill.
You want to see how I got these?
No, you got to hold the story a little bit though. Just not bad, but just do it, please.
And
we all do it. It's part of the thing. Yeah.
But it's one of those things that. Again, story, when you originally opened it up and we talked about what you look into a villain, how he went so balls deep into it, unfortunately, that it ended up being his demise. And that scene that we were talking about earlier when he's with Maggie Gyllenhaal and they're at, they come into that ball and...
the shrimps.
Yeah, the shrimps. Michael Caine literally was afraid of him because he was so... in character. They didn't know what was going to happen. He comes in, steals the scene, and Michael Caine, think about it, the dude at that point, what was it, 07? He was probably 70-something. He's better than
so many movies, so many situations.
Right, but yet he was afraid of him. And just the smartness when it comes to money, I never noticed this, but when the Russian guy comes in with a big pile of money, I don't know if you guys noticed this. The guy who's the banker, the Asian guy, he's wrapped up on the very top, and Joker's standing up there, and he slides down and comes talking. He's like, "Your guys work for me now," and he's like, "Oh, see, hungry dogs." When he burns the money, that dude never leaves. So I never noticed, but the banker gets burned alive.
Sucks to be him.
What? 100%. But it's just another level of just that the cynicalness of him that he puts into that character that. In the world, money and power is everything. He could care less about money. He just wants to see the establishment burn. And again, Michael Caine tells Bruce Wayne, some guys just want to see the world burn.
To take the best villain from the Batman Rogues Gallery and bring new life to it on the big screen was a testament to both Nolan and especially Heath Ledger.
How many adaptations have we seen? And this is the best, and it will never be topped.
Well, plus on top,
I think Jack Nicholson did a great job.
Oh no, I love it.
Too jokey though. Too jokey.
Yeah.
It's more comic correct.
Not as dark, and then you have also the Joaquin Phoenix that was too mentally ill. There was the middle ground that Heath Ledger found.
It's tough for me to even consider him the Joker,
right? Because it's a Joker movie, but the middle ground he found was what's up. What do you got number 2?
Hans Gruber from Die Hard.
Nice.
Now you could, played by Alan Rickman. Now you could argue also that his brother, played by Jeremy Irons in Die Hard 3, could be up here. But I like the original Hans Gruber. It's a heist movie, and we're seeing it from the other side of it, where we're not part of the heist. We're part of the team to stop him. I mean, he'd get away with it. He was smart, cunning, had everything planned out except for one rogue policeman. Right?
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Incredibly intelligent, still a psychopath. He's just stealing money, right? But he has no qualms about killing, threatening, blackmailing. He can slip into a role. He plays the American when he's trying to fool Bruce Willis. There, it's played. Alan Rickman does a great job playing it, and Hans Gruber is one of the best, I think.
All right, my number 2, Commodus, Gladiator. This is played by the great Joaquin Phoenix. We just talked about him.
He does it so well, man. Hard to not.
There's so many levels of why he's the worst. At first, he wants his dad's blessing, and he's just like he can never rule. Then he kills his father. Then he not only orders the death of Russell Crowe, but his family, his wife and his kid, which are really far away.
Brutal, yeah.
And then he thinks they're all dead. Obviously, the son and mom are dead, but Russell Crowe escapes. And then goes to his reign of terror, if you will, and is now terrorizing his sister, who he's banging a bunch. And then when things come back and Russell Crowe's back, he threatens the sister with killing the son. And then at the very end, stabs Russell Crowe in a pretty much a kill shot.
I think it's the worst thing he does. Right? He cheats.
I will beat you.
Bill the Butcher, kill shot.
Yeah,
you know, like,
and I'm gonna play you, and you have literally you're bleeding to death, and still loses.
Oh, with tigers, by the way, mind you, tigers that are
the worst. One of the worst villains. I have number 2. And he's such a great acting performance. I mean, it's layered.
You want to kill him. Like
so layered.
Every single part of you, when you watch him act, you just like hate it. You hate him. You hate him. You hate
dark
him. You
as
feel
hell,
it,
man.
and you just want him dead immediately. I mean, you said he kills his dad, destroys everything just to get his way, and it's.
I think this is the most hateable. Like maybe not the best movie villain, but the most hateable.
What makes it awful is there were Roman emperors who legitimately acted in this way.
Right, it's realistic too. So I had to have it on there. Just the acting performance also is unreal. Ray, number 1, what do you got? Drum roll.
So it's gonna be it's gonna go against yours. As I have Darth Vader, and it's just because. I'm not going to disagree with everything you said because you're not wrong. Like the reason Darth Vader become what he is because of Palpatine. But I just go on the fact that when you think of a villain, I'm just again you just go around the
4
world.
4 through 6, right? Until the very end of 6, he's a villain.
Yes,
like the worst villain.
Right, but I'm saying again, you go around the world and you're just like, hey, what's a TV or what's a movie villain? There's going to be a Mount Rushmore, and Vader will always be on that.
He's dressed all in black. And you got the music,
dude, and
you immediately know he's a villain from the first moment he's on screen.
I agree.
And
I mean,
what's weird? So my wife and I go to Walt Disney World all the time, and you'll see characters, and Darth Vader is one of, and Kylo Ren. But Darth Vader, people come out and they cheer for him, and I'm like, that's weird, right? Like he's a mass murderer. He's a villain. That'd be like cheering for Pol Pot. Like it's just weird.
He blows up a planet, and he's happy. I mean, then he killed how many? 3 billion?
Yeah.
I mean,
from Alderaan had, I think, 3 billion, 3.5 billion.
Right?
And to be honest, I guess it just comes down to, and again, I know his character art ends up being good, but it's just one of those things that it comes down to me, that with John Williams, the GOAT, score coming, when Vader comes on screen, dun, 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 like what we were talking about let me tell you, there are many men who have their wives on call for Vader's music. I mean, it's a thing.
The Ted thing, man.
Yes.
Kunos. Is that negative?
Yeah.
It's negative. Yeah, it's the thing. Story, drum roll.
I don't think there's much suspense here. If anybody knows me, they know it's Agent Smith from The Matrix is my top
those
villain.
Machines, those cold dudes.
Yeah, it's true.
Or you hate those machines.
I hate the machines. Yeah. The interesting thing about this is, unlike Terminator 2, or the T-1000, this is a legitimate artificial intelligence who has thoughts and can make its own decisions and has feelings. What makes this villain truly unique and terrifying to me is he's not just doing a job. He's doing a job because he hates humans and he wants to be done with this assignment. He doesn't want to be in this festering place anymore. And we see that. We see that in this tremendous. Hugo Weaving played this character, and he brings so much to it. You can feel that. You almost feel sorry for him, like he's stuck here until this is done. Now, obviously, you go back and they're enslaving the humans, so he is truly a bad guy, and it gets worse as the series goes on. But yeah, I mean, menacing, disturbing, and he'll stop at nothing, not because he's a machine, but because that is his mission in life. It's his personal mission.
I love it, and I'm a big Matrix guy, and I knew you had it on there. I didn't have mine, but this one, do you know what my number 1 is? I went deep, and you're gonna be like, damn, Rob, you are the GOAT at this podcast. You ready for this one? You guys seen The Patriot?
Yeah. Oh.
Colonel Tavington.
He's an asshole.
This is probably the worst guy ever when you go about interpersonal relationships and not caring.
Yes.
We'll go through what he does here. So if you haven't seen The Patriot, it's Revolutionary War. We have Mel Gibson. And
spoiler alert.
25 years later almost.
The Patriots won.
He kills Mel Gibson's second youngest son for no reason. He does rush the guy. He had no weapons.
Right.
And then later the quote of, did he die? Stupid boy. Okay, that. And then I guess the creme de la, right, is the church.
The creme de la creme?
Creme de la creme. Creme de la creme is the church.
It is so sad.
He gets the answers. He knows they're helping out the renegades, right? The ghost. And he traps them all in the church, and he finally gets the answer, saying, you won't, there's no repercussions. You're good if you give me the answer. He gets the answer, and then boards it up, burns it down.
Well,
one guy makes a quote of saying...
he coerces the loyalist into doing that actual dirty deed. He doesn't get his hands dirty.
Right. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But he does a quote of like, they're like, oh, we're fine. We gave you the answer. We're fine. They're like, well, you can answer that to God, and kills him. Like, that is crazy. And he's just so hateable, his tactics. And it's also, again, realistic.
Do you not feel murderous rage when you watch him in action?
Yeah,
and this happened in the Revolutionary War. And all wars, right?
Yes.
Similar to communists. Realistic stuff. And he just, dude, this is played by Jason Isaacs.
Amazing.
Not really a well-known actor, but man, it is
that.
beautifully done.
He's usually a side actor. With
you clench your fist when you watch this guy because, and we all probably don't like Mel Gibson too much as a person, but he's a great protagonist.
He murders Heath Ledger, not in real life.
But
he murders him.
As far as we know, Jason Isaacs didn't murder.
Maybe he did. Jesus. But I don't know. This is a dark horse that I had that I personally, every time I watch it, I love
never thought of that.
He draws out something visceral in you. Right. You're right, Ray, where you absolutely hate this
like
guy.
The T-1000, these machines, whatever, you more understand it. This is realistic.
And allows Mel Gibson's character to be the perfect foil where Tavington is doing this all for fame and glory and land and money.
He wants the land, right?
Yeah, and he will stop at nothing. Mel Gibson, he'd rather win the war, and actually he forgoes killing Tavington at the final battle in order to rally the militia and save that battle.
Epic scenes ever. Man. He grabs you and just starts running with. I mean, it's just the most like. And then he runs up, starts waving with the. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Damn him!
I told you guys.
Damn that man!
Why do you see my best ending scenes? I have more surprises. I don't go chalk, my man. I don't have chalk. I only eat chalk like Charlie. All right,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Ray?
And it's been a complete joy.